Welcome back. Mark DeRosa's U.S. squad is really shaping up, and this from the official USA Baseball X account. Joe Ryan added to the pitching staff. Not only Joe Ryan, but there's more. Clay Holmes will be pitching for Team USA.
What's up, Holmes?
And so will a guy off a great rookie year as Clay Holmes' teammate, and that's Nolan McLean, who joins us on the stove on this Thursday. Nolan, good morning. Thanks for the time. And talk about the decision to pitch for Team USA.
Yeah, I mean, once I got the call, just kind of asking if I wanted to do it, it was a no-brainer for me. It's something I've always been passionate about, and I've always loved watching those guys go out and compete for their country. And I thought that was something that fits me well, and it's definitely something I was interested in.
Were you a little surprised, Nolan, the fact that you just got called up and didn't have a whole lot of games? Were you surprised?
Yeah, I think so. I think a little bit. But I mean, I was super stoked to get that invite, and I think they probably knew when they called me it'd be an automatic yes because they knew how passionate I was about it.
You know, you went out and threw the ball great. I talked about you got called up. Savage was tremendous in the World Series. Do you think the minor leagues is preparing you guys a little bit better now than maybe years past to come up and be effective?
Yeah, I think so. I mean, I feel like minor league baseball is in a really good spot. And I mean, especially once you reach like even high A now, it's like there's some really good players in high A and on. And the game is just evolving so quickly that, I mean, it feels like everybody's throwing mid-upper 90s and everybody's hitting for power and don't strike out a ton. So it's I feel like the game's in a really good spot.
Well, look, you can get there with your fastball, but what impressed everybody, including me, because we had a couple of your starts doing play-by-play for, man, you spin the ball as well as anybody in the big leagues right now. Has that always been your strength?
Yeah, I think so. I never really knew much about it, I guess, growing up. But like once I figured out like that I spin the ball well, and obviously I didn't understand it a ton. And then hitting, I was like, when a guy would have good spin, I was like, oh, okay, that looks a little bit different. So I started to figure out like what pitches would work best for my arsenal to utilize that spin the best I could. You
know, it's funny because there are a lot of young guys who I think years past, maybe in Harold's vintage, would avoid a lot of that because of the pressure that it would put on their elbow. There was, you know, probably misinformation about what it did to you. What are some of your keys to staying healthy and keeping that arsenal that you have?
Yeah, I mean, I try to live in the weight room as much as I can and just kind of build up that base and that capacity to throw for as long and as many pitches and as long into the season as I can. I think everything starts in the off season and making sure once I get to the season, not really losing any strength or losing that capacity to be able to throw deep into games.
You probably never forget your major league debut. I mean, I don't think anybody does, but yours was particularly memorable. Your parents were in the crowd. Take us back to that day when you got called up and were on a big league mound for the first time.
Yeah, so they told me earlier in the week, and so that moment, like, called my dad. He was at work, so he didn't answer. So I called my mom and told her, and she was crying. I called my fiance. She started crying. And my dad ends up calling me back and said, hey, do you need something? And I'm like, what are you doing Saturday? He's like, I think I got to go into work Saturday too. I'm like, well, you probably need to get out of that. He was like, why? I'm like, I'm pitching in the big leagues on Saturday. And he just hits me with, okay, nice.
That's awesome. That's
so a couple different reactions out of my parents there, but no, it was definitely special once I took the ball and got to go out there and compete.
Hey, I'm looking at that backhand play you made in that game, and I'm thinking about the athlete that you are. You were a two-way player. You played a lot of shortstop. I think that's true as a kid growing up. So how important was the two-way player in preparing you to be the big leaguer you are today?
Yeah, I mean, I think everything in my past kind of just got me to the point I was, just playing multiple sports, multiple positions in baseball, and just never really getting over mechanical. Just trying to be the best athlete I could. Obviously, mechanics are a big part, but I try to not go out there and overthink it and just be an athlete.
You know, we were talking earlier. You were pitching and hitting all the way up to Double-A, and now how difficult was that to give it up? But how important was it for you to make a decision to be able to say, hey, I don't know if I can physically do this, or can you physically do it?
Yeah, it was definitely tough, especially on the body. Like right around the middle of the season, it was my first full season starting as a starting pitcher as well. So that was an adjustment on top of trying to get at bats 5 days a week was another adjustment. And just by the All-Star break, my legs were shot, and I just talked to some of our guys, and I was just like, hey, I think I need to just try pitching. It might not be permanent, but I think this is the best route for me for right now.
I mean, the obvious
is
is
feel better and better.
When you see Shohei do this, how do you just marvel? How does he do this?
It's spectacular. I mean, it's unbelievable that he's able to be that good on both sides of the ball. Because I mean, not only like were my legs shot pitching, like in the box, like I mean, you know, when you play every single day, like your legs are toast sometimes when you get in the box. So the ability for him to be as consistent as he is remarkable.
The obvious one for me is, I mean, Nolan is he's Woody Williams 2.0, right? Big 12 team, shortstop, pitch, little touch of ginger in the beard. Google Woody Williams, Nolan. That's your guy.
He
man.
loves the look.
That's your guy. Hey,
I just want to finish this, and then Matt's going to wrap this up. But Roger Clemens, he and I were talking about a conversation of how he got in the box in an All-Star game. And Dwight Gooden threw a fastball, and he turned to the umpire and said, I throw that hard? And the umpire said, yeah. And he goes, I'll never throw another fastball. And from that time on, I've always thought about the advantage that Ohtani has having pitched and get in the box and understand how to pitch to hitters. Has that being the elite hitter like yourself up to AA ball, has that helped you as a pitcher?
Yeah, I think so. I think just from like a game plan perspective, I mean, I had a plan going into the box when I was hitting. So I know that as a pitcher, these guys are going to have plans and try to exploit me the best they can. So I'm almost trying to game plan against myself a little bit in like a hitter mind, and then figure out how I would get myself out in the other way. So it's definitely beneficial, I think.
You're hanging out in Flushing, Queens this week, and we have a social media post that will explain what you're doing here. It's from Anthony DeComo. Clay Holmes will play Santa Claus at this year's Mets holiday party alongside yourself and your staff mate Brandon Sproat and Jonah Tong as a trio of elves. What are they doing to you? What do we got?
Is this a rookie prank or what?
I don't know. I mean, we were told we were coming up for a holiday party, but they didn't explain all those details. So they kind of finessed us with that one. But yeah, I just saw the outfits we're going to have to put on. So that should be.
Are you wearing tights, green tights?
They're not quite tights. It's not quite like Buddy the Elf, but it's pretty close. I gotta say, it's pretty close.
It is
I'm
New
sure
York.
There'll be some pictures released that we don't really want out there, but yeah, it's gonna be funny.
Hey, last thing for me, Nolan, is you're going to be playing with our teammate, or playing for our teammate, Mark DeRosa, who is so passionate about this project, about Team USA, about the World Baseball Classic. 16 years in the big leagues, like the guy's what you want. What kind of conversations have you had with D-Row, and what do you know about him as a manager?
Yeah, I mean, I love his passion for the game. I mean, just watching him break down hitters, break down pitchers on TV is like, you can tell the guy just loves ball. And that's somebody that I obviously want to play for. And when he called me to give me the invitation to come play, I mean, I could tell how fired up he was about getting to go out there and compete with us. And I mean, that just made it that much easier for me to have that commitment.
Awesome, man. Have fun as an elf this week. Get over that. And then we look forward to watching you back out there in uniform for Team USA and for the Mets. Thanks for the visit, man. Happy holidays.
Yeah, happy holidays. Appreciate it.